Hello and welcome to All Top 5s. If you've never seen the BBC programme Tribe, watch it. It's a fascinating insight into some of the least known people all around the world. Part of it focuses on initiation rites, religious ceremonies, and tribal rituals that can strike us as bizarre. Here are 5 of the strangest customs that I've come across, some of which are still practiced today. Number 5. Extreme tattooing. This isn't for the faint of heart, you have been warned. In Papua New Guinea, sometimes described as one of the few truly wild and unexplored places on Earth, there are a number of indigenous tribes who live in the jungle, the Kanangara tribe being one of them. One seemingly ghoulish cultural tradition within the tribe is that of scarring, a kind of extreme tattooing. This scarification forms one of the most important ceremonies, the transition of boys into men. The boy is held in place on a bed of bamboo leaves while the artist of sorts goes to work with a sharp knife. He makes incision after incision on the boy's back and chest, creating an intricate pattern in the flesh. These cuts aren't very deep, but by the time he's made the full 450 cuts, or thereabouts, blood loss is fairly significant, and the pain must be almost unbearable in the extreme. What's the point then? Well, the Kanangara tribe believes that this ritual purges the initiate of all their mother's blood, and it's actually the uncle on the mother's side who usually makes the cuts. The skin cutting also allows the man to be imbued with the crocodile spirit, apparently, as the cuts heal into scars which look a lot like crocodile scales. All this is supposed to be a rite of passage to real manhood, although it is incredibly expensive and isn't obligatory for members of the tribe. Still though, what an extreme and strange body alteration. Number 4. Cattle jumping. The Hamar tribe, which lives in southern Ethiopia, is a big one, comprising up to 20,000 people. They're very successful as cattle farmers and have vast herds of cows and goats which provide blood and milk that make up a large portion of their diet. The wealth of a man is measured by the number of cattle he has, and they're used as a kind of currency. When a young man is to come of age, a large ceremony takes place, beginning with feasting and drinking. Somewhat alarmingly though, the boy's sisters are ritually whipped by a group of men. Although this is difficult to imagine, the women do beg to be whipped as a sign of their solidarity for their brother, and seem to speak of their scars with pride, but I know that I find this behaviour quite hard to accept. After this, the boy in question is washed with sand and dung and lines up for the big event. A line of 15 or so cows are lined up and have dung smeared on their backs. The boy, in order to come of age, needs to leap across the whole line of them 4 times. It's really difficult, as the cattle are pretty tall and their backs are so slippery to run on. If a boy falls off, he can continue, but it's a sign of shame. Once done, he is blessed, his head shaved, and he becomes a man. So, although uncomfortable in places, the rite of passage ritual of cattle jumping is an amazing, if somewhat bizarre, custom that still occurs to this day. Number 3. Lip plates. One incredible body modification that isn't for the faint of heart is the lip plate, used in tribes from Africa and Amazonia. One such tribe is the Surma tribe from southern Sudan. Dating back for millennia, the practice involves piercing the lower lip and inserting a small peg to widen the incision. Sometimes the lower front teeth are removed too. Ugh. Over the following weeks and months, the peg is replaced with a small plate, then a larger plate, then a larger plate still, until the lip reaches its maximum stretch, sometimes over 20 centimetres, that's 8 inches, in diameter. It's a tradition that many women in the Surma tribe choose to follow, and they do it up to a year before they marry, in their mid to late teens. The purpose of this seems mainly to be one of entering womanhood, and the women do create their own plates out of clay, often decorating or adorning them with pride. Though in modern times more women are choosing not to go down that path of the lip plate. It's body piercing in the extreme, and is iconic of many tribes across the world. Number 2. Sokka Shinbutsu. Although this isn't exactly a tribal ritual, it is a deeply spiritual religious practice carried out by the Shugendo monks of Japan. Although hundreds of monks have tried Sokka Shinbutsu, only 24 cases have been confirmed. but the fact that anyone has managed at all is incredible. It's a form of self-mummification. I'll explain. Beginning in medieval times through to close to modern day, a monk wanting to achieve Sokka Shinbutsu would begin the process that would last up to 10 years. They began by fasting strictly, consuming only tree products such as pine needles, seeds, resin, and bark. The monk continued reducing this diet, meaning he lost all body fat and began starving and dehydrating, keeping his body dry and fatless to deter insects and bacteria, thus beginning the mummification and preservation. Some even drank toxic plant tea to further deter insects. Eventually, the monk would enter a small tomb and be sealed in to begin his final meditation. He would ring a bell occasionally to let those outside know he was alive. 1,000 days after the last bell rang, the monk's followers would open up the tomb and see if he had achieved Sokka Shinbutsu. His mummified body would be displayed in the temple and worshipped if so. If his body had decayed, however, the attempt had failed, but he would be buried with great honour for his efforts. It's a fascinating and terrifying process, and it's been outlawed since 1877. It shows complete dedication and unimaginable self-sacrifice, and worshippers travel from far and wide to pay their respects to the Sokka Shinbutsu monks. Number 1. Bullet ant gloves. Now we've come to one of the most painful rituals. The Satere Mawe tribe in the Amazon jungle in Brazil have an unbelievable initiation ceremony for those men wanting to become warriors. In the rainforest lives a species of ant known as the bullet ant. Those who have been stung by these ants describe the pain as the equivalent of being shot, hence their name. Now keep that in mind as I describe the initiation rite. Hundreds of ants are collected and put to sleep by using a natural sedative. They're then woven into special gloves made of large tree leaves. Other than a little charcoal smeared on the boy's arms, he has no protection. As the ants begin to wake up, he has to put his hands inside the gloves. The ants begin to sting over and over again, tied in place, and the boy has to wear the gloves for 10 minutes of sheer agony. After time is up, the boy's hands and arms are completely paralysed, in unimaginable pain, and usually shake for days afterwards. The willpower to get through this initiation must be so strong, but at least once the pain and paralysis have subsided, he's a warrior and he can forget all about it, right? Nope. To complete initiation, the boy must do this a total of 20 times, which can last for a period of years. Incredible. And that's it from all top 5s for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this glimpse into the other cultures of the world and some of the seemingly bizarre rituals that they undertake. Although they do seem strange or sometimes even cruel to us, we've got to remember that people across the world live very different lives, and we should show respect to their choices and heritage. Our diversity is what makes the human race so fascinating after all. So with that in mind, be considerate and polite in the comments. Let's have a nice healthy discussion. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a like on YouTube, because it really does help me out and other people can find the video more easily as well. If you like what you've seen, you can click subscribe and you'll be subscribed for a new video from me every single Tuesday. So peace and love to each and every one of you, and I'll see you all next time on All Top 5s.